Welcome back to Fashion Buzz. This is the second segment. Hope you guys like the lookbook, and if you still haven't watched it, then make sure to check it out. Now for this segment, we had a fun chat about life as an influencer with Rehan Shrestha and his recent contribution in hosting a campaign with Australian influencers for Visit Nepal 2020.
Hi.
Thank you so much for making time for Fashion Buzz.
Thank you for having me.
And how long are you staying in Kathmandu for?
I'm here till end of January. Yeah, just wrapping up a few projects. And
that's interesting. So starting off the interview, I really wanted to start off from the first thing that you did in the industry, that was blogging. So how did you start blogging?
So I think this was when I first went to Australia, like 5 years ago. And I attended my first fashion week with a bunch of friends, and I think there I met and saw like influencers and bloggers in the industry and kind of saw like what it was all about, and I looked into it a bit further. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go.
That's really interesting. So like you didn't start off as a blogger, you just went...
I was direct Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah. I never had the proper like written blog, which I feel like I cheated my way, but like, you know, because I do have respect for people who actually did proper write-ups. You know, I just put some effort in my captions, that's it.
You got lucky. So like, because I know that you don't come from the fashion background, would you want to tell us what you studied for?
Yeah. So I actually, when I first went to Australia, I wanted to do law, which was an interesting decision because I've always been a creative, you know, soul. You know, I think watching Suits and all these TV series, I'm like, you know what, the lawyer lifestyle is something I want. So I started doing law. I did it for about 2 years, and I was just unhappy. It was just not me, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take my leap of faith, jump into something more creative, and then I switched courses to communication design. Yeah.
Wow. So like what was the decision that made you, like into the fashion world and, start Instagramming?
I was, like from, as far as I can remember when I was a kid as well, like, wearing clothes, dressing up and kind of like putting an effort with what I was wearing was constant, from school. I was always that kid,
Yeah.
making like my uniform like creatively like fun and cool and yeah, so I always had that. I think the reason why I chose Instagram and, this specific path is because it was something I was already doing. It's, expressing yourself, and we all love social media. We all, post stuff, and I was like, you know what, combine those two, join the bandwagon and just go for it. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So what does your Instagram or like the new age blog, let's say, stand for? Like, what's the genre? What do you look for when people, come to your page, and like, what do you want them to get the message of?
I feel like, because usually a lot of bloggers have like a specific genre, like travel or food.
Yeah.
I'm like, why not everything? I don't want to limit myself to just like travel or fashion. Like, it is very fashion focused because that's where my like utmost passion comes in. But like, I do my bit of traveling. I love my food. So I'm like, put it all in, grooming as well.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'm like pretty much like an all-rounding,
Like a lifestyle blogger.
Yeah, lifestyle blogger, yeah. Basically.
That's nice. So a little bit of serious question. What major difference do you see from the first days of blogging, or let's say social media, the first stage of social media, to the present times? And would you say like the blogging in general, the new age blogging, which is on Instagram, has it become easier for the new generation than it was for us back in the day?
I think there's a perception that it's easier right
yeah.
now. Everybody has that thing like, oh, what's the big deal? You post a few pictures and, you know, it's like a glam life. I personally don't see it like that because I've been doing it for nearly 5 years now, and it's been a very slow growth, you know, and just to create that genuine content that you want to put out there, it takes effort, you know, like that specific message you want to send with a picture. You do need planning, you need to coordinate with photographers, the type of clothing you're doing, everything. You have to create that entire vibe. So I feel like it is work, like it's not difficult, but at the same time, it's not just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna like whip out my smartphone, take a photo, and now I'm a blogger. I feel like there's so much more to it.
Right. So would you, share your first break with us?
You know, like that big break, I'm still waiting for that. Maybe that's not happened yet,
Okay.
but like in terms of like my experience so far, this is probably like 2-3 years ago that when I got invited to probably like Melbourne Fashion Week, and then I was seated for the first row. It was always like a surreal experience because like I haven't been here doing it for too long, and you know, as they say, like the fro is the place to watch the fashion show from. So it gives you a high, like it was very exciting. In terms of work, I think my first collaborative project was with Marks. It's a nice Australian label. So that was my first like official collaboration.
Oh. So what have you learned through your experience from the first days of Instagramming and that luck you got to sit on the front row and to now, like how do you just reflect everything? What's the experience like?
I think you definitely have to have patience. I'm a very competitive person, and I always used to compare myself with other people, and you know, I was be frustrated. I'm like, why am I not getting that work? Or you know, why am I not in this event and that? And it's like kind of like, you know, you're doing your stuff. You keep on putting it out there. And in the long run, like, if you are authentic with it, you will get it. I just feel like, you know, you need to kind of just be genuine with yourself, not be too like, I don't know what's the word, but, you know, just maintain your own.
Okay. So, speaking of your promotional trip that you organized for the Australian influencers.
I think when I first heard of the fact that Visit Nepal is happening, you know, I was like, every other tourism board has done so many collaborations with influencers to promote the country. So it's like, why not we do it in Nepal as well? So when I met our national coordinator, Mr. Vaidya, I very casually pitched this idea. He was very interested. I, you know, moved on to a proposal phase, got more serious. Then I think it was about 4 to 5 months of planning and coordinating and communicating. And then finally, you know, when they came here, I was like, wow, this is happening. And they're all here. Like, you know, we had amazing sponsors, Marriott, Kasara, Buddha Air, Nepal Tourism Board. They were all a part of it. So yeah, overall, we spent 10 days in Nepal. We covered Pokhara, Chitwan, obviously Kathmandu. We had Mustang on board as well, but because of the weather, we had to cancel that. But there was 9 of us in total, and I think we were able to show them the best Nepal has to offer. And we got some great content out of it. You know, I think if you go to their pages and have a look, they've done some amazing photos. And you know, by the end of it, I think how I judged success with this is they genuinely loved Nepal. And their message, their captions, the way they've portrayed Nepal is authentic. They're like, you know, they loved it and they really want people to come here. So I think that was great to see. And overall, like, you know, with their insights and the audience reach, I would say it was very successful.
Because like I've seen your stories, and that's how I came to know that you were the organizer. And that's something really huge for an influencer or like a blogger to conduct such event, and bravo. So I'd like to thank all these amazing Nepali brands for sending Rehan these amazing gifts. So I'm going to hand him Mero Kicks. So they make customized jumpers.
Wow.
They sell designer shoes.
It says Kathmandu written on it, which is cool. Nice.
Moving on to the other one, it's from Dulla, the factory team. He's a shoemaker. He's like a shoe designer.
Right.
Specializes in leather goods.
Oh, wow.
So that's a specialized item for you.
Very cool. Thank you.
And a brand that you must be familiar with.
Yes,
Nepal.
Yes, I actually love their stuff. So they actually helped me curate my farewell gift for the influencers.
Yeah, I'd seen that on your story.
Beautiful packaging, everything. Amazing. I love them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Same here. So, the last clothing brand is Stemp. They are a brand that makes clothing out of hemp products.
Right.
Yeah. So
Sustainable.
yeah, sustainable.
Wow.
And they have their
This
showroom.
is a bow tie.
Yeah, tie dye.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you.
And the last one for today is Dessert First. They are homemade chocolate, bread. This
Gonna
one's
eat it
for you.
right after.
Wow.
This is yum. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having
Really
me. I had
appreciate
a
it.
great time. Thank
Same
you.
here. Bye, guys. That brings us to the end of our 7th episode. I hope you guys had fun. Stay tuned to Radio Nagarik 96.5 to watch more wonderful videos. Also, to enter the giveaway, you have to answer one simple question, and the question is, on which episode was model Pooja Pradhan featured wearing C by Siwangi Designs? Write down your answers in the comment box below, and the winner will be announced in our next episode. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until then, stay chic.